People have been taught to honor their feelings, but almost no one is being taught how to govern their feelings. So now, every discomfort becomes a warning. Every disagreement becomes invalidation. Every fear, intuition. And every emotional reaction becomes something other people are expected to accommodate. But your feelings were never meant to become your ruler. They're signals. They're messengers. They're information. And sometimes, they're wrong. Today we need to separate emotional awareness from emotional obedience, because your feelings may be valid, but they are not in charge.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but your feelings are not facts. Just because you may feel like, oh, I just know this is going on, baby, sometimes your trauma can speak to you too. Don't be so quick to make assumptions and thinking that something going on or somebody lying to you. Relax. Let things come to you, because sometimes we can make up things in our head that's not actually going on. It's the quite opposite. Do not allow lies and things that you may make up in your head to ruin good things going on in your life. Do not allow them to ruin good situations that you got going. Trust that God has you on the right path in the right timing, and that things will come to you when it's needed. You don't have to chase anything. You don't have to try to investigate anything. You don't have to run after anything. Let things be. Let things flow the way they're supposed to flow. But your feelings are not always facts. Everything is not your intuition. Sometimes it's your trauma. Sometimes it's the pain of the past that's speaking to you. So just be mindful of that. The next time you have this gut feeling, it may not be true. It may just be your trauma. It may just be your anxiety. It may just be fear. Don't be quick to speak on things.
This is one of the most important distinctions a person can learn. Your feelings are real, yes, but real does not always mean accurate. You can genuinely feel rejected. No rejection occurred. You can genuinely feel unsafe around someone who has not threatened you. You can genuinely feel certain that someone is lying. And guess what? You can still be wrong. Because emotions do not merely respond to the present. They respond to memory. They respond to expectation. They respond to fear, to old wounds. The nervous system does not always distinguish between what is happening now and what happened before. So when something resembles an old experience, the body, it can react as though the old experience has returned. And this is where people confuse emotional intensity with evidence. They say, I feel it strongly, so it must be true. But strength of feeling is not proof. A nightmare can feel real. A memory can feel present. Anxiety can feel prophetic. None of that makes it a fact. The hermit does not ignore the feeling. No, the hermit, we examine it. We ask, what happened? What did I assume? What evidence exists? And what part of this reaction belongs to the present versus what part belongs to my past? Your feelings, they deserve attention, yes. They do not deserve automatic belief. The body remembers. The memory is not prophecy. And the intensity of an emotion does not make the story attached to it true.
A therapist said a great thing. It was in our couples therapy. She said, everybody's feelings are valid. Sometimes they're just not accurate.
This is the distinction modern communication keeps losing. I feel hurt describes your experience. You intentionally hurt me assigns motive. Those are not the same statement. I feel ignored, may be honest. You do not care about me is an interpretation. I feel threatened may describe your nervous system. You are a threat is a conclusion. And when people confuse experience with interpretation, they make conversations impossible, because now questioning the interpretation is treated as denying the experience. Someone says, you embarrassed me on purpose. You respond, hey, that wasn't my intention. And they say, you are invalidating my feelings. Now, the feeling is being acknowledged. The accusation is being questioned. Validation does not require agreement. Understanding someone's emotional experience does not require surrendering your own reality. A mature person can say, I believe that you felt hurt, but I do not agree with the meaning you assigned to what happened. That's not cruelty. That's simply clarity. And clarity is necessary because feelings can reveal what is happening within us without accurately explaining what is happening around us. Your emotion may be valid. Yes, yes, yes. Your interpretation may still be wrong. Yes, yes, yes. And no one should have to accept a false accusation just to prove that they care about you.
It's not the fact that a person cannot honor your emotions. I guarantee you that's not the problem at all. It's the fact that you want your disorderly behavior to be honored as well. Baby, you have the right to feel how it is that you want to feel, but at a certain age and stage of life, you should be able to regulate and manage your emotions as well as the behaviors that are attached to those emotions and those feelings. Because I'm angry, disappointed, or upset or frustrated, I have to make everybody else feel like crap. I have to shift my environment. I have to act a fool and curse people out and yell and walk off and storm off. Your emotions and feelings do not take precedence over the environment that you're creating and the feelings and emotions that you are altering in other people. These type of people who do this are the main ones who say, you're invalidating me. I'm not invalidating your feelings because you have the right to feel how it is that you feel. I'm invalidating your behaviors because there's nothing rational about your behaviors.
This is where emotional language becomes a weapon. A person becomes angry. They scream. They throw things. Insult everyone in the room. Storm out. Punish people with silence. And when someone finally addresses the behavior, they say, you are invalidating me. No. Your anger may be real. Your disappointment may be understandable. Your fear may have a history. But your emotion does not grant you immunity from responsibility. Pain can explain behavior. It does not automatically excuse it. You have the right to feel angry. You do not have the right to make everyone around you afraid. You have the right to feel abandoned. You do not have the right to manipulate people into proving that they will never leave. You have the right to feel hurt. You do not have the right to injure everyone else until your pain feels acknowledged. This is where people confuse compassion with permission. They want others to understand the wound and then use the wound to avoid accountability for what they did. But healing does not mean everyone learns to tolerate your dysfunction. No. Healing means you stop making other people carry consequences of what happened to you. Your trauma may not be your fault, but eventually your conduct becomes your responsibility. You're allowed to have that feeling. You're allowed to have any feeling that you have. You are not automatically allowed to perform every behavior the feeling demands. Self-awareness without self-regulation is merely an explanation of chaos.
You may be getting a whole lot of feelings about one particular thing or another. I want you to know that your feelings are valid, but don't follow your feelings like a set of facts or treat them like a set of instructions. You don't have to follow each one of them.
That's basically the entire lesson right there. Do not treat every feeling like an instruction. Anger says, respond now. Fear says, leave immediately. Jealousy says, investigate. Shame says, hide. Loneliness says, call the person you already know is wrong for you. But an emotion creates urgency because urgency helps it gain control. The moment you delay reaction, you create sort of a distance between yourself and the feeling. And inside that distance is your power. You do not have to send the message tonight. No. You do not have to confront them while your body is flooded. You do not have to end the relationship during the peak of your fear. You do not have to explain yourself while you are desperate to be understood. Just wait. Just wait. Just breathe. Just observe. Allow the emotional wave to pass before making a permanent decision. This is not suppression. Suppression says, I should not feel this. Self-government says, I feel this completely, but I will wait to choose what I do next. A feeling can sit in a room without sitting on the throne. The emotion may speak, it may warn, it may ache, but it does not get to make the decision. That decision belongs to you.
I got addicted to the feeling of being chosen by men and being considered attractive in my mind before any of it was actualized in my life. I was just a child at this point, using the materials that I had to construct a fantasy world where I wasn't in so much pain. And I became addicted to that. When I actually went through puberty, got older, and really was out there interacting with boys and men, I still was dissociating into my fantasy world, and I was still under this hypnotic state wherein getting those hits of male validation, it really felt like a high. It really felt like, okay, yes. But it was so temporary. It's like any other drug. So I needed more of it. And it ultimately would also just reinforce all of my rejection wounding because I wasn't actually trained in or even necessarily that interested in connecting to men. I was interested in them approving my worthiness through objectifying me, because that's exactly how I had been trained. I was already self-objectifying. I was completely dissociated from my bodily experience and seeing myself from this like third person point of view. That's how my mother treated me as well, constantly adjusting my appearance, constantly trying to optimize and make me, this beautiful Barbie doll. And then that's what society did to me as well. That's what society does to women. I ended up in so many harmful situations as a young woman because my main objective was to get male validation. And I also was completely okay with being totally objectified. And I had even been trained to feel sexual desire for when someone was objectifying me. Because again, this self-objectification, it's like you're seeing yourself from a third party view. You're not embodied. So if someone was really desiring me, if a man was really desiring me, that was lighting up all of these circuits in my brain. And I was like, yes, that's the thing. I had a lot of shame around this for a long time. The truth of the matter is I wasn't really that interested in a genuine relationship with these men. That hadn't been really trained into me. I was like, what the point was. The point was to get their validation, and I got addicted to it.
So this is deeper than wanting attention. Sometimes you do not want the person. You want what their attention allows you to feel about yourself. Chosen, desired, important, safe, visible. And because the feeling comes from outside you, it disappears when the source disappears too. So you need another message, you need another compliment, you need another person showing interest, another sign that you still matter. This is why external validation operates like a drug. It can temporarily relieve the pain without healing the wound that created the craving. And the person providing the attention becomes less important than the emotional effect they produce. You may call it love, but sometimes it's regulation. You may call it connection, but sometimes it's reassurance. You may believe you miss the person, but what you actually miss is the version of yourself you became while they were choosing you. This does not make someone evil. It means a survival strategy became an identity. A child who did not feel securely loved may learn to build worth through beauty, through achievement, through romance, through status, usefulness, or being needed. The specific drug changes, but the dependency remains the same. The healing begins when you stop asking, who can make me feel worthy? And when you begin asking, why does my worth disappear when no one is reflecting it back to me? Sometimes you don't miss the person. You miss being chosen. And until you understand the difference, you will keep calling withdrawal love.
Of people clapping when you're doing something and experiencing something in your mind, you said, this is not acceptable.
I'm going to stop crying.
And that's okay. Hey, that's okay. Who says it's not okay to cry? That's all those self-imposed requirements. I can't cry on stage. Says who? Look at me. Own who you are. And just feel it and be with it.
And look, you're getting claps. Look fine.
Do take this in. This is very powerful. Look at how you got a positive external reference of people clapping when you're doing something and experiencing something in your mind. You said, this is not acceptable.
Look, there's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with grief. It's natural. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging fear, acknowledging sadness, embarrassment, or even pain. The answer is not emotional repression. The answer is emotional containment. Containment does not mean pretending the feeling does not exist. No. Containment means being large enough to hold the feeling without being overtaken by it. You can cry and still remain conscious. You can be afraid and still behave with integrity. You can feel rejected and still refuse to chase. You can feel angry and still speak carefully. You can feel hurt and still avoid becoming cruel. This is emotional strength, not the absence of emotion, but the presence of choice. The weakest relationship with emotion has two extremes. One person suppresses everything until it explodes. The other person expresses everything and demands that the environment reorganize around it. Neither person is free. One is ruled by avoidance. The other is ruled by impulse. The hermit chooses neither. He feels what is present. He listens for the information. He separates the sensation from the story. Then he chooses the response that serves his life. Not merely the response that relieves the emotion. Emotional freedom is not feeling nothing. No, it's feeling deeply without surrendering your authority. Your feelings matter. They reveal wounds. They reveal needs, fears, desires, memories. They can show you where your attention is needed, but they are not objective witnesses. They can be distorted by trauma, amplified by anxiety. They can be manipulated by insecurity. They can be misinterpreted through the past. So you listen to your feelings, but question the story they tell. Honor the emotion, but examine the behavior it demands. Allow yourself to feel, but do not hand the steering wheel to every passing state, because the goal is not to become emotionless. The goal is to become self-governed. Your feelings may enter the room, but they do not sit on a throne. You do. This is the Hermit. Say less, observe more, and never confuse what you feel with what you must obey.